Hello everyone. Actually, put that off screen. Okay, hello everyone and welcome. First thing, this is the top 10 interactive interesting scenes kind of thing. It's, how to say, top 10 interesting interactive scenes, memorable interactive scenes, or things that have a realistic gameplay effect, or a psychological effect in a way. It's, kind of a thing that the one's kind of very, barely on it, but the rest of them are pretty much interactive. Anywho, these are the top 10 interesting kind of, I was sure, but let's just start, These are interesting things done to convey either messages, gameplay elements, or just for you to feel like you're interacting with the story, you could say. So, number 10. And of course, actually, I probably do want that on screen so I can actually look at the time. Number 10 is Professor Layton in the Diabolical box. If I remember quickly, the Japanese name was Pandora's box. Oh, and by the way, before we actually start, this is a very spoiler-heavy thing, so yeah, basically, if you don't want to be spoiled something, I would skip. So anyway, the very final puzzle in Diabolical Box is, okay, out of the 3 games, I haven't played or started the 4th one. I do have the 4th one, but I haven't started it yet. But out of the 3 Professor Layton games, I've loved the ending for Diabolical Box the most. Why, the last puzzle in the 4th game was shit, in my opinion. And the 3rd one was just a puzzle. It didn't really feel like any significance towards what was, like, the story or any emotion or anything. I liked the Diabolical Box because it was diabolical in a way. It is yet still the only puzzle I see that uses one of the DS's mechanics to its puzzle, and that's the microphone, to blow into it. You're given a puzzle, or a riddle, and you gotta use it to solve how to open the box. And one of the pieces of the riddle was the wind blowing. And, well, if there is a puzzle you use the microphones to blow in, I've never seen it. I have not 100% completed every puzzle in all the games, but I have never seen any of the puzzles use the microphone in any way. So, you don't immediately think about the microphone. But also, it's the deep, meaningful effect that the puzzle has on what's going on. And I really liked that. For some reason, it just really touched me in a way. Number 9. Neo. At the end of Neo, you'll find horrible events of catastrophe. On your second one of Neo's ending, you'll find that a few things don't seem as they seem, as you find many of the motives of the bosses throughout the game. You find out why and what's going on, and that they're not necessarily really evil, and that you have to question your own motives of it. But upon completing a similar task of collecting all the weapons, you unlock the ability of 2 more endings, and these are what get this on this list. The interactiveness of sacrifice. Neo is given a choice to try and either save. You have 2 ways of saving your friend Kyrie, which in some people's mind, and personally I think there was a relationship in a way that they were building up feelings for each other. But anyway, basically, you could either kill her and free her from her torment of being possessed by a shade. But interesting enough, the shade itself requests you to save Kyrie. Or Kyrene. What was it? Kyrene, actually, wasn't it? Oh, dear. Memories. There was a killer pages now. I think it was Kyrene. Yes, it was Kyrene. Correction, Kyrene. But anyway. But the shade inside her starts speaking you. And this is the first time that you actually understand any of the shades. While your second playthrough will allow the Boss of Shades dialogue to be subtitled for you to understand, Neil never acknowledges or understands what they're saying still. But at this point, Neil actually understands what he's saying and requests of you. And basically, he tells you you could potentially save her if you sacrificed everything. Now, when you're first seeing this, you're probably like, oh yeah, I die and every happy ending, yeah. No, this choice is more dire than that. You literally, as a player, sacrifice everything. Everything related to Neil will be deleted. Your saves, your kill, your progression, it will all be gone. The only thing you'll have left is achievements or trophies. You literally sacrifice everything you did to save Kyrene. Even your very memory. No one even remembers you. It's a very deep and touching story, in my opinion, in that aspect. And that's something that makes me remember it very fondly. How are we doing on time? Doing pretty good. So, number 8. This is the PS3 version, but I do have the PS2 version, obviously. Shadows of Colossus. The end of Shadow Colossus, after you've defeated all the Colossi, you sadly are treated by a horrible, horrible scene of being possessed, attacked by your own people, and thrown into a wildfire and to be reborn as a baby to entrap this demon inside you. And it's all interactive. It's a very interesting scene because you get to interact all of it. You even get to be this demon that possesses you, and you get to actually be him and be able to attack these villagers who came to ensure that he stays sealed within this forbidden land. And it's a very interesting scene and very touching as you lose all this power and regain your human form, and in a last-ditch effort try to achieve your goal only to fail and be sealed away as a baby with this creature inside you. Number 7. Now here's the one I said that might be a little iffy in the interactive department. Deadly Premonition. What makes Deadly Premonition unique? Is it its strange way of looking like a Dreamcast game on a 360? Its strange Resident Evil 4, but yet seeming like an old school survival horror game at the same time? No! I'm talking about Zeke! Zeke! The player was given a very interesting role in this game. Well, you know, in the normal sense, you're supposed to merge yourself with the personality of the main character, like in Dragon Quest games, how they're silent, have no dialogue and such. They're meant to be designed that way so you can mold your personality into them, and you be them. While a few other games have tested in this sort of unique way that Zeke is presented to you in the game, I really found the role of Zeke very interesting. While the only other game I can really think of off my head is that one Namco RPG on the GameCube. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I really liked how they did Zeke. See, Zeke, and just know, I have not beaten Deadly Premonition, so there could be even more interesting information about Zeke. But Zeke is presented to the player as a split personality of the main character, who, if I can remember his name, was Francis York, Mr. York. That's what it was. Everyone called him York. York speaks to Zeke a lot, and how he does it is, it's like he's talking to you, the player. You are meant to be Zeke. You are the role of Zeke. And this gives an interesting way of how the main character sounds like he's talking in a third person, because Zeke is supposed to be, at least how he's presented, as a split personality in his own head. He keeps Zeke pretty secretive, really, when, I believe there were 2 times so far where I've played, where, basically characters have came under the impression that he was talking to someone else, or at least, talking about the case with someone else, and he basically throws something else and go like, "Oh, let's leave it at that if you don't mind. You know, your secret, my secret." Shh. But I really like how they present Zeke in the game. It keeps the main character talking. Like, when you drive around, he'll talk about old horror movies and stuff to you. It's a very interesting way of interacting with the main character, in my opinion. And I really like that. How are we doing on time? I think we got enough time for one more. And this one is probably the old... Well, no, not really the oldest. But there's one other game on the system. But we'll go with this one. Where are we? Yeah, number 6. Star Tropics. Now this is... I still have never seen anything do this kind of interaction before. Star Tropics is a pretty... It's a pretty Zelda-like game. And its interactiveness is in a physical form. Among your booklet, if you got the game new or happen to actually obtain a copy of the game that has the booklet in its completeness, or at least this part of it, you would receive a letter. Now, I wrote the number combination on there. This letter is very important to the game, because this number combination will actually appear here when you dump it in warm water, which is why there are stains now on it. That's why I wrote it on there, because I no longer want to keep damaging the paper. It's a very interesting letter from your uncle. It's presented to you as a greeting invitation to the island as the game opens, but later, a crucial moment in the game is revealed that there's a secret code on the letter itself to assist you, and it would present you with 747, the coordinates of a secret game that would progress the story. This was a very interesting interactive way to interact with players. Sadly, the letter itself was also, at the same time, kind of a... I like the idea, but at the same time, there's a negative aspect. People who can't keep their shit, or destroy it, or just throw it away, and then it's like, I needed that? Fuck! And, I guess that's a loss, right? I mean, what can they do? I mean... What can you do? But anyway, yes, I think we'll cut that for the list of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Star Tropics, Deadly Premonition, Shadows of the Colossus, Neo, and Professor Layton and the Diabolical Box. I hope you liked the first part of this video. Feel free to ask comments. You know, tell me your experiences or other things you think could have made the list, or things that you remember, or just about these games, or, you know, just comment. You know, let me know.